is Satan, well, you got to look at God and turn to God and make Him help you out and find your true life and find out what's inside of you to help yourself. So it's the guns, the killing, the fighting. We don't need that. We need love, like you said. We need love.
Avery, what do you feel when you hear about a young man just was killed and murdered? What goes through your mind?
Sadness, a sense of depression. Like, I don't know what our country has came to. Like, years ago, you used to have to worry about your son being hanged by Caucasian, by white people. Now you have to worry about your son being murdered by another African American. Back in the day, we had to worry about whites killing blacks. Whites don't even have to worry about that no more because blacks are killing blacks.
Oh yeah, brother, you said a mouthful there.
Like, so that's how I feel about it. It's nonsense.
And we should be embarrassed. Anybody over 40 should be embarrassed. Because this is a young man telling us what we have done.
And see, and that's what happens around the table when we talk. You know, like a lot of times, families do not sit at the table or come around and talk. You know.
That's right. And they say, "I didn't know you felt like
yeah,
that." You never asked.
Yeah. And sometimes we come together, but we're talking about everybody else. Hey, did you see that new Michael Jackson video? Did you see something? But how many times do we really come to the table or the kitchen and talk about real issues that matters to us in our community?
That's right.
You know, real issues that famous people don't face on a daily basis because it's not, you know, it's not in their community. But the guns and the drugs, well, drugs is in everybody's community. But the killing and the murders is in all of our communities. Sometimes we just need to realize that it is. You know. So, Vontae, do you feel like forming this brotherhood that you all have? Do you think what you say to other young people, young men and young women as well, that they need to form that trusting brotherhood? And do you all have like a bond of this? Did you all take vows with each other, an oath with each other?
It's like, I look at it this way. I look at a lot of stuff as like leadership. I wouldn't want to lead nobody down the wrong path and then they'll follow me down my same path. You know, I like doing positive things. All the negative stuff, it's not even much in my mind because everybody look at him like, you know, he can be doing this, but it's like, I see all the bad things is on the side, man. I'm looking straight ahead. So I really don't much put it in there, like the bad stuff, it don't go through my mind. I look at other people like with these gangs and all this, it's somebody leading them into that and they follow them. So it leads to one thing to another. We not a clique. We just love one another, and it's brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We keep one another straight.
I want to ask, well, all of you all was there, Bernard. Any one of you all can take this question. The other day when we was on the cleaning up the house around the corner, the guys was like smoking weed next door and drinking, and I saw you all looking at them, and they was really in their 40s. What was going through your mind? I know all of you all was thinking about something.
When I first thought, me and Dane were laughing, cause he was like, "Oh, I'm high," he coughing. I said, he coughing hard, but when he's smoking like that and he coughing that hard, how we know if he finna die or he really high? So he passed out. We won't know. We say, "Oh, it's the weed," but he know he's sick and he started smoking weed. Right. So I looked at it like, if he's sick and he's smoking weed and he coughing, won't nobody know if he's sick or not, cause he's like, "Oh, I'm high. It's really good." I'm looking at it like, you got that in your mind, cause the Lord is good. You don't say the Lord good, you say the weed good. So I look at it like, he like what he like.
You know, and,
you love what you love.
Who he was smoking with did it. He could have just been sat down and just sat there and died. He could have had a heart attack while he's smoking. Could have, you know, heard something. He don't know because he high. And
so what examples did they set for? I mean, you guys are young.
They didn't set no example for me because I wasn't even much paying attention to them.
So
they like bombs on the streets. I ain't got nothing, you know, bombs on the streets. I help them out, but they smoking. If you can go take out time to buy weed costs. You can go buy your house. You go buy clothes. So you smoking, I got nothing to say to you. You ask me for a quarter to buy you or a cigarette or something like that. You can't get it from me.
Right.
But you have to look at the age. There was 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds. That's bad. That's setting bad examples for us. We don't have anyone to actually. We don't have. I can name the number of male role models we have in Kentwood.
Oh my goodness.
We don't have like The black African American male has decreased. It's decreased. Drugs, penitentiary, death, homosexuality. It's sick. It's really sick. And
So
it's
these
sad.
guys at 40 and 30 and 40 years old, you all was really looking at them like saying they're pathetic.
They're pathetic.
They'll do it in front of their kids. They don't care.
Douchebags.
And they really didn't care if kids passed down the street or children passed down the street. They didn't care, huh?
The police passed through and he started coughing. This is good, you know it's good. That police would have stopped. I believe he would cry. And tell you so, I believe he would, man, I ain't do nothing. You cough, you like you want to.
Really, I mean, you like Aaron said about the male role models. Okay, the ones that smoking weed, they the main ones that selling it to the young black men, and that's how they get the weed. That's who they getting it from. They're not getting it from the other peers like their own age. They getting it from the 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds that's just sitting outside the weed in the open, and we just sitting over that work and just looking at them, laughing like. Y'all could have did that somewhere else. Y'all just doing it in the open.
It's just not 40 and 30-year-olds. It got 40 and 30-year-olds getting it to 17 and 18-year-olds to sell it. So we just can't say 40 and 30-year-olds because the 40 and 30-year-olds is the bad influence for the young people.
So what y'all need to see is more positive influences in young black men, older men. Do you feel like sometimes older black men try to be your friends instead of trying to be your mentor?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you want, a mentor or you want friends?
Mentor.
You have friends, huh?
Mental.
Mentors.
I don't want no 40-year-old friend.
No,
No 40-year-old man trying to be my friend.
all he wants was
Well, that ain't fair.
I wouldn't
You
want
can
a
have
40-year-old
You
friend
can have
that's
friends
gonna,
that are 80 years old.
Yeah,
It's the
but
quality of the friend.
yeah.
That's
It's-
what you need.
I don't want a 40-year-old friend that's gonna like do negative things
That's
around
right.
me and not catch the habit. Well,
That's
I
right.
ain't catch the habit, but you know, you can catch a habit or something.
Well,
So-
it's influence.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
So yeah, you definitely have to look at the quality of the friend.
I wouldn't want if I got a 40-year-old friend, he gotta be leading me, helping me out.
That's right.
So I can lead my, everybody. It's father
Your young brother and all the other young children
it's-
that
I
come out.
don't want no 40-year-old gonna tell me, oh man, hit this blunt. Oh man, do this. Let's go get high. Get high of what? The Lord? If the Lord get me high, I'm gonna get high.
So what about the way they dress? Because I see a lot of times older men wearing clothes almost like teens or young men.
Hands
And I'm
down.
looking at you all are dressed so nice. And you look so nice. And I see older men with baggy t-shirts on, tennis shoes and socks and, tags on their clothes. What do you think about that?
It goes back to the topic about leadership. It's sad. Like, I wouldn't want my father wearing the same thing that I'm wearing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I dress older than you, man. Come on now. It's go back to the topic about leadership.
Well, this kitchen is getting hot. That's all I can say. The kitchen is hot and the topic is hot. And this is what we need. And if we can just really focus on what our youth are saying to us, is that they need mentors, they need leadership, and these are 4 intelligent young men, and I can tell you, future leaders here, and we as adults need to pay attention, don't you think, Kulu?
I definitely.
To what this, and all this is happening while we're
Definitely.
cooking in the kitchen, so we're not just talking about food, but we're talking about food
These
for
are
the
tomorrow's
mind.
leaders.
That's right, the
Tomorrow's
mind,
leaders.
the body, the soul, the spirit, and all that's important too. So we just can't feed the stomach all the time. We have to feed more than the stomach.
Let me ask you guys.